welcome back to another Tuesday Tips at 2 with Goldbergs. Another special edition regarding insurance property damage claims, specifically after our own Texas-based Snowvid event a few weeks ago, but generally all-inclusive for insurance claims after property damage. Now this one we're going to be doing a little bit of a variation here. Last time we spoke about the actual property damage that was done, whether to the structure. Y'all remember that? Remember what it looked like? Oh yay, it's all fixed. Good news. We got running water, we got electricity, we don't have giant holes in our kitchen ceilings. Hooray. However, we did file a claim for business disruption loss, which is different than the property loss itself. Now, many businesses are tenants in their space, and they often have a business property insurance. Now that covers perhaps injuries that might occur on the property, but not the property itself. Meaning that if the building is damaged, that's not their claim, that's the landlord's. But if someone is injured within their premise, then they are indeed covered. Now many of these policies will cover more things than just that. Perhaps there's theft, something going wrong with the computers, and critically, business disruption. That is, the business could not operate, it could not earn any income, therefore insurance, please pay us out. This is something they should definitely look into if you own your own business and if you could not operate that business during that week, because you could get recovery of some sort for some dollar amount, which is great. So please do look into that. Now, these claims often have exclusions. The fine print, always got to look out for that. And some of them will say things like, we exclude any sort of loss from coverage that might have been based upon a lack of electricity. But you're not necessarily at a stopping point then. Think about it. Was your business interrupted merely because there was a lack of electricity all throughout Texas, or also because your employees could not get to the office, could not get to the business because of the icy roads, or because they were stuck at home dealing with family and childcare because the kids couldn't go anywhere and there was no power on over there? Were you disrupted because you had no internet as well, busted pipes, no running water, etc.? So look at the exclusions and then think creatively. Is that the end, or is there some path around that? And of course, you can always speak with an attorney about that. Now, when you're filing the claim, get it going. An adjuster will be assigned, just like the normal insurance property damage claims. And the adjuster will say, hey, I need this, and this document to review. Often, those will be along the lines of proof that you do run the business. It's not just a policy that you have, but that you've actually been occupying the space. All the more so during the age of the pandemic. A lot of these places, offices are working completely remotely, so the adjuster might say, I don't know that, your office being shut down really led to a shutdown of the business itself. So proof that you are occupying the space, using the space, and proof of the lost revenue can come in the form of things such as your taxes from last year and the year before that to show what was the average for that one particular week. Now, that might not be enough. You might have had a special week plan where you're going to earn a special amount of revenue for some event or something that was going to go down. And for that, you just have to show proof of it. For example, on my end as a law firm, I can say, hey, in February of this particular week in 2019, we earned this. In 2020, we did that. 2018, we did that. But someone else who might be, an event coordinator, planner, had some big event coming on up, that's different. So you just need to be able to show proof of that, such as a contract of an event or something that you could not then earn money off of. Now, it doesn't mean that all of your lost revenue is going to be compensatable. It's not. Think about this. For you to operate your business, you have to pay overhead, your rent, your employees' time. Those are costs that you probably have to pay one way or another, and thus that should be compensated by your business disruption insurance. But that's different than what's called cost of goods. Your accountant will probably be able to explain this better than I can. But the concept of cost of goods, or COG, is often a particular cost that a business must pay in order to do something. So on my end, for example, to do a deposition, I must pay a court reporter to be there. That's not a particular cost that I had to incur during the Snowvid week. It didn't happen. If you're running an ice cream shop, a cost of good for you to be able to hand on over an ice cream cone might be the cone itself. So you might not have had to pay for that cone, as an example, of course, in order to do anything during that week, which is different than your overhead. So when you're submitting your claim, you can't just say, hey, look, I earned this dollar amount in a previous year, if you really didn't have to incur all those same costs during the shutdown, whatever it is. You know, for us, again, it's Snowvid, it could be a different event, it could be during a hurricane, etc., etc. The point is this: you'll have to be able to separate and make these distinctions. And to do that, you might need to call on your bookkeeper, on your accountant, to be able to help you out to make your argument. Because the adjuster is going to get information from you, and he's going to come up with his own calculations. And just as I discussed in the previous Tuesday tips about property loss as a whole, you do not need to accept whatever the conclusion is as to how much you should be paid by the adjuster or your insurance carrier. If you have a good argument, make it. Make it in writing, make it persuasive, have your evidence for it, and try to get along diplomatically, of course, with the adjuster and with the carrier itself. If they don't agree and you believe that you do have a good case and it's worth it, then go speak with a lawyer. Go set an appointment. Get someone else to look this over and say, okay, your policy says this, the law says that, I agree with you, rock and roll, let's file a lawsuit. Or the opposite, the policy says this, the law says that, I'm sorry buddy, you're just out of luck here. Either way, you don't need to accept whatever it is that is being told to you and being given to you by the carrier itself, and that's important, not only for this, but also for property damage claims. At this point, a month later, for all claims, not only business disruption, but also the property claims, a lot of y'all might be getting to that point where you're getting these sort of answers from the insurance carrier. Please, 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 know your rights, assert them, talk to a lawyer if you need to. Now's the time to start doing that. Y'all be well. Till next week.